my friend?
Here we fucking are. Go ahead and I don't know, get all your bullshit out of the way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, really, like all I really want to say is, like I noticed, like the last time after the game one, I didn't give my man Goran Dragic enough cred, man. Because he had 29 in the last game, and he didn't really he didn't have too big of a role in the late game heroics, but the man had 29.
It was a quiet 29. Yeah.
And then this game he had 25, but this game, he did some things at the end, including a really gutsy three.
Big 3-pointer with Tice on him.
Yeah. And he was brought to the Heat to play with Bosch and Wade, and that never really happened for multiple reasons. Except he had one good run with them in 2016. But it's just fucking cool to see him with a good group of dudes and able to do his thing at 34 years old. Like, I think I was realizing that it's like a motivating factor for the rest of the guys too, to like try to win it for him.
Another big game for him today. I mean, he's the top scorer, with second being Bam. So yeah.
But getting that out of the way, and that being said, rather than like just take this entire podcast to gloat, and welcome to the Free Ballers Cup episode 2, by the way.
Welcome.
I'm Alex, and I'm here with John, and I figured, John, I'd like to just flip it, and I want to hear what's going on in Boston world.
Oh man, the last episode we had like a day to like absorb it, but I think let's see how this goes here with this. The emotions just still raw as hell. As raw as Marcus Smart's emotions apparently blew up at everybody in the locker room after the game. He was heard after walking out of the locker room saying, "Y'all on that bullshit," and then went in the bathroom, and there was still some screaming being heard in the locker room. People were throwing stuff around. So I mean, they're mad, they're upset.
Full Kool-Aid man. He just stormed out through a wall,
right through the brick wall.
Yeah.
I mean, these were two, again, winnable games. It's not like they're out there getting blown out. It's not like they're getting completely worked over by the Heat. This one was 5 points. The last one was 3. So they're winnable games. They're just, they're losing these big leads. I mean, I guess
frustrating.
It's super frustrating. Even when I saw them they were up by, I think 13 at halftime, 60-47. But I think at some point they were up by, I think 17.
Yeah,
right. And so, at one point. And that's that moment where, I've gotten to the point where just after watching too many NBA games, 17 points it still gives you a little bit of confidence. You're like, okay, I'm glad they're up by 17, but you still understand that it's way too early. There's still a chance they can lose it, especially since they lost it in the last game, right? They had a 14-point lead. I think they lost. I guess Spoelstra has this secret zone defense that he's pulled out of his ass just for the playoffs. And now the Heat are probably the best clutch team in the bubble so far. Right.
Oh man.
And which is interesting because the player who they found out I don't know if it's the player. I don't know if they judge this for everybody on the Celtics or for every player in the bubble, but Jason Tatum has been the worst in clutch time in the bubble, right? He's a worst clutch player so far. I think it was for the Celtics. It's not for the whole bubble. His clutch time stats are not good, right? His percentage goes way down. And it's because he's taking these shots when they're putting him in ISO, and he's obviously Tatum's the guy you want in the clutch if you're the Celtics, right? He's your guy. You need the points, you go to Tatum. But he's getting these. They're giving him ISO situations, and he's. I'm making excuses, by the way, but whatever.
Well, no, it's true though. They're really they're testing his decision making, which has been something he's improved tremendously. But it's like he's still young. He's still learning everything, and like
he is. However, him and Brown have both been here. They know this.
That's
I mean,
true.
they know the West. They know a conference final. They've been through it before. They've gone 7 games with the greatest player in the history of the NBA. I mean, this is not. So that's why I'm still confident, not happy, but confident that they can still pull off something amazing here, especially with the way this bubble is and with teams coming back from 3-1 deficits. And you know what I mean, with the OG Anunoby shot and just,
the Heat aren't in the clear by any means.
They're not in the clear. No. Now, of course, if they win the next game, I mean, you got the kind of, no teams ever come back from down 3-0, but it is. Yeah. So, well, just to finish my quick point, like Tatum's been the worst player in clutch situations, right? As far as his percentage. And so obviously clutch time is the fourth quarter and they're putting him in ISO. And I think this zone thing is frustrating him. And I mean, here's the thing, a zone defense is not like new, right? It's not like, the Heat played exceptionally well. This Spoelstra zone defense that he has going on is exceptionally well. Is it? I don't even know what is it. Is it 2-3? Is it 3-2? Is it box and one? Like, what are they doing exactly?
So the special thing about it is he puts the guard. It's a 2-3 zone, but he puts the guards on the bottom. So like traditionally, the guards would be the 2 up front. You know,
top of the key.
Yeah, he puts the guards on the wings in the back. So that way the forwards are up front and they're lankier and, they're just bigger, long, athletic dudes, like just out there really getting in they take up a lot of space. They can take up a lot of space. And it's just a little bit different than having the short guards up there up front. And
he has the luxury of doing this because Bam can kind of play any position.
Exactly. Bam can cover
defense wise.
That zone allows him also to cover a lot of ground. And just putting a dude like Bam in a zone type defense is pretty gnarly in itself, just because he's pretty effective. But that's all it is it's like an upside down zone, just because he puts the wing guys up front as the 2. And then the back line is the guards and the center. But yeah, he didn't use it in the whole playoffs up until now. But throughout the season, they had been working on it for a while. And
he had it in his back pocket, though.
Oh,
he was aware of it. He's basically outcoached Brad Stevens in these first 2 games. I mean, Celtics are getting up big leads. So obviously Brad is starting them off quick. I don't know what I wish I could get inside of his head. He's as very, very tight-lipped about everything. He's getting these big leads. It's just a matter of keeping composure, fighting through this zone. It's not impenetrable. It's not like it's unbeatable. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think something like that, I feel, is only a matter of time. Like I feel like by the very next game, that the Celtics will probably be better prepared for that. But also I think this might be about the time for Gordon Hayward to come back.
I think you're absolutely right. I think this lines up perfectly well. He could be back for game 3. And I think if you want someone to bust the zone, I think he's actually perfect for that.
He's good for that. He
really is perfect for that. Yeah. That's where he could be the Celtics' secret weapon in this battle here. He's perfect for. Yeah.
Real quick, not to mention, just looking at the numbers, they seem to be doing like their normal shit that they do.
They are. Yeah.
So if you just throw in Gordon Hayward's 19 right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, there you go.
Yeah, that's all you. I mean, it's not like the guys that you want to score are scoring. Kemba, this game was pretty balanced. Kemba 23. Jason and Jaylen Brown both had 21. Marcus Smart chipped in 14, like he's just his little bit. They're not getting outscored by a lot. 5 points this game, 3 points the last game. These are games that could have gone either way. It could very easily be 2-0 right now at Celtics. So it's just and I think it's very touch and go, and it's little things here and there. There's not even a lot I can point to say like the refs ruined it for me. There was one, like I saw Daniel Tice get hit in the head. I was like, okay, they probably could have called a foul there, but the ball had already been laid up. So maybe it was just kind of Bam's follow through. So it kind of knocked him a little bit, and he was kind of messed up. There was one point where the refs reset the shot clock to 24, and I think they shouldn't have. And that actually was a big swing because the Celtics were up 10, and then I think the Heat got a 4-point play. But grid. I mean, Jimmy's out there with a ton of heart. So it's fun. It's fun. I mean, if I'm a Heat fan, I'm loving it.
Yeah, that is true. Credit to the refs because I think they did a better job this time around. Like as far as there wasn't too many issues at the end of the game where the refs were like, they didn't have to control the game that much at the end.
There's not a lot. And yeah, I haven't had much gripes with them at all in games 1 or 2, really. They just, I didn't want it to come down to that. I didn't want to see like some Heat player getting away with something or a Celtics player getting away with something. Daniel Tice has a personal war against the refs. I feel like he gets called for a lot of shit, and he looks very convincing when he's complaining to me. The one person who looks the least convincing is Jason Tatum, because he throws his arms up after every time he misses a shot, and you're just like, okay, come on, you didn't get fouled every time. But Daniel Tice always looks like I would never call a foul on Daniel Tice. He convinces you that there's no way he fouled at all. So, but I don't know. Yeah, there's a personal war on Tice with the refs, and I think every time he gets fouled, it's bullshit. So, but this I don't know. I mean, I'm just I'm upset, obviously, but I'm eager to see what Brad Stevens does next game. I'd like to see. I did notice this game what he did a slightly different. I mean, they still built a big lead and saw it go away. But he brought in Romeo Langford. And
that was a weird one.
Inez Kanter. And he brought them in early, too.
Ooh, and the Kanter minutes were fire.
The Kanter minutes were amazing, which you don't, because Kanter is hit or miss. Sometimes he was nowhere to be seen in the Raptors series, and I was absolutely fine with that. I think I was really excited for this series about seeing Rob Williams out there and just seeing what he can do. But just because, him and Bam they're just fun centers to watch, and they get blocks, and they're just, and I think Rob Williams has like the highest field goal percentage in the whole bubble or something, just because he gets limited minutes and then makes nothing but dunks. But Kanter came in and was extremely effective until he wasn't, basically. And then they just pulled him. So, which is fine. That's the whole idea of the center by committee that the Celtics have. Tice is in there for his fantastic defense. Kanter's in there for rebounds and offense, basically.
I think Tice is actually after these first 2 games, I have like new respect for this man. I feel like he's super underrated because I don't know where the fuck he came from, but he's doing
Germany.
Like he's doing like is he only like a second year player or something? What I mean?
they Danny Ainge kind of secretly scrapped him from Germany, man. Actually. Yeah. So
he does some of the stuff, dare I say, like Horford-esque stuff.
Ooh.
Like besides
he did play with him.
Besides the scoring, though. You know what I mean? He's not like he's not gonna score and shit, but like when he touches the ball, I rarely ever see him do something stupid. Like he moves the ball, or he'll like set a screen or do like a dribble handoff, or like I don't know. Like he just seems to do stuff that leads to other good stuff.
Yeah, his I think his what was the stat that I may have mentioned? His defensive plus minus is second only to Rudy Gobert this season. So Rudy Gobert is, for whatever people say about him, I know they hate him and everything, but Rudy Gobert has great defense. So
great defender.
He's a great defender. So Daniel Tice, we all love him, obviously. It's just but this is center by committee, and Daniel Tice sometimes, what's good? I like him against the Heat because he's a guy who doesn't fall for the backdoor cuts too often. I saw Kanter get yammed on by Adebayo, and I was like, okay,
he sure did.
I was like, what are you doing, man? How did you miss that? Like, it was just a simple, and it was from Harrow. Harrow made the pass, I think, and it went right over Kanter's head. Like, you can't let him get there. Can't let him get behind you.
Putting Kanter in the pick and roll like that, like I feel like that was the beginning of when Stevens was like, all right, we got to get him out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but his minutes were effective. He was in there scoring points. That's what he can do. I think the idea was maybe get Bam in foul trouble. You get Bam in foul trouble, all of a sudden the zone is not as effective. Perhaps maybe that's what he was thinking. I don't know.
That could have been it.
That's you know what I mean. That zone doesn't work as well if without a versatile center up top. So from what I'm learning now, obviously I didn't know it was basically a 2-3 with the wings at the back. So, but yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. But it did when he was in there. They built a big lead, so it's helpful. But then I think you guys kind of exposed Cantor pretty quickly. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like you got to maybe give all the centers equal minutes and see what Rob Williams can do. Rob Williams, he's still kind of young and green.
I felt bad for him a little bit. He looked like he really wanted to get in there.
I kill to see him in there. I mean, I think he's extremely effective. I mean, just he probably is better at blocks than Cantor and Tice. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to have to be, I think, a center by committee. I think his thing with putting in Cantor and Langford, I was very surprised that guy's still a rookie, but I think maybe he's just trying to like throw some wild card chess piece on the board or something. But I think what he was really trying to do is, how do I explain it? It's you got to like, how do I explain it? I don't know. Cause I saw him do it and I thought, okay, it seemed weird because Langford's a rookie and Cantor was typically ineffective in the last series, but maybe he's just trying to put some subs in early just to get like fresh blood, and maybe I don't know. I was trying to justify it somehow. I mean, it worked initially, so I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? He could also be trying to send some kind of message to just always be ready type shit. Like, who knows? In
the playoffs in game 2 when you're down a game, like
it's weird. It's weird.
That's not what you want to do. Yeah. You want to win. You want to get the team down by 20 and then keep it that way. Like
the Cantor minutes I understand because Cantor is a good player. Like, he went out there and got 9 and 6, like in fucking 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, the Langford thing was kind of weird. But I don't know. Who knows, man? Like,
I think maybe he was trying to conserve energy for players so that when the third quarter rolled around, they didn't see an immediate drop in energy levels. And the same thing with the fourth quarter, because they're proving basically they're not a good second half team, right? They're just not. It's either the third quarter or the fourth quarter where they're getting outscored, and that's what's ruining the game for them. So they come out hot, and it's great. So maybe he brought in Cantor and Langford early to just spell them a few minutes, get some rest and then come back in. So also, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he does something like that again.
Didn't Kemba have an injury moment? Like, was that when he did the Langford thing? I can't remember because I remember Kemba like kind of got hurt, but then he came back. He was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Well, if Kemba's out, then you're bringing in Wanamaker though. That's the next backup point guard. So, I mean, Kemba was out. Like he hurt his head and they had him in the locker room and it was a little scary, but then he came back. So, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to line up those moments. I'm not sure if that's how that went, but yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. On the other side, Spo, I was pretty like after we talked last time, I was like, damn, I didn't really have any ideas of like what they should do. And like, I just thought maybe they should try to get Duncan Robinson more involved and play Kendrick Nunn less. And that's fucking exactly what they did.
Yeah, it's exactly what he did. Yeah.
Spo started out like he was going to play Kendrick Nunn like normal, but then all of a sudden just changed his mind. And it seemed like after halftime, any of the minutes that Kendrick Nunn would have gotten, he gave them to Derek Jones Jr., which really was useful in that fucking upside down ass zone.
Yes. Yeah.
Derek Jones Jr. up there and on the top of the 2-3 zone, he can run around and like just fuck all kinds of shit up with his arms. I thought that was a really smart on Spo's part because when I was thinking about playing Kendrick Nunn less, I didn't even think about like that DJJ could be the guy to get the minutes. I was just like, I had no answer really for what to do.
It's interesting, yeah. And Duncan Robinson came in and got his 18 points basically off the bench or not off the bench. I'm sorry, he started. So And
Celtics fan, by the way, Celtics fan Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, so he is from the Boston area. Yeah,
it's got to be weird.
He's lame as hell. I think he was talking about how like him and his friends back in the day, they what were the nickname that I don't know if you heard about this, but like his friends all had like a nickname for themselves because they thought they were awesome. Because they would like sneak off in high school and drink Busch Lights and stuff like that.
Oh man, wow! I didn't hear that. Was this on the like JJ Redick's show?
It was no, which I've actually been watching that a lot more lately. But no, it was came up on Weird Celtics Twitter because there are people that are, like went to high school with him basically, and they're talking about him a lot. So yeah.
Redick's new podcast is awesome. Like
it's really good. Yeah. It's actually giving me confidence because he did a segment with Steve Nash talking about how teams going up 3-1 are giving up these giving up the momentum essentially. So I'm like, Celtics can still do it. Yeah. I
mean, it ain't over till it's over.
It's true. Yeah. I cannot wait for Gordon Hayward to be back. I think that one extra piece will just can put them over the top, honestly. Yeah. I mean, in these close games, he's another scorer you can have. And I mean, you said it, we both agreed, in the universe, our brains synced up there. We were both like, yeah, he's the one guy that can break a zone. He's perfect for that. So
it seems like he would help a lot. And they're right at the point where it's like, okay, they're like, I don't know if like Wanamaker is going to like take it up a notch. You know what I mean? Like they need somebody like Hayward.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Hayward is he's a scorer. I mean,
not to hate on Wanamaker, but just saying like Hayward's definitely going to bring like some shit to the table.
Wanamaker can be very frustrating at times to watch, especially in the Raptor series. He was shit. And actually this game, he wasn't too terrible, to be honest. I mean, 7 points. 2-2. So yeah, it's whatever. He just has to keep Kemba rested. That's all.
Yeah, and not make mistakes. He wants to make him.
Yeah, they don't call him want to miss him.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, I keep forgetting that they keep taking one rookie right off the bench and just throwing him in a game, and he's in an Eastern Conference Finals. So I wouldn't normally make an excuse for something like that, but I think he looks scared out there. So yeah, Grant Williams, I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I like him, but he does look scared out there.
He does. He looks scared. I mean, he can make threes. He can guard a lot of positions. He didn't get credit for it, but he blocked at the end of Game 7 against the Raptors. He's the one that blocked Van Vliet's 3-pointer that could have tied the game. So nice. I mean, he can guard any position, but he's a rookie out there, and he looks green.
Yeah. Another interesting thing was Iguodala. He didn't play in the second half because his back was all bothering him. He had like back tightness or some shit.
He's an old man. I mean, he's no spring chicken.
Yeah, so that's another reason why Derek Jones Jr. was getting those minutes.
Interesting.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the Celtics will adjust to that zone. That I think just because it's a fucking zone, like they'll come up with something. With something.
It's not unbeatable. I mean, you just
exactly.
With a zone, what you have. I mean, you just got to get guys in the right spot on the floor at the right time. You have to be effective against the zone. Kemba, I think, can be perfect against the zone because he's pretty much the best slasher they have, and he's the quickest guy on the court at most times. So I don't know. Yeah, and you got to get mismatches. I mean, if you're gonna have Bam Adebayo, and by the way, Mark Jackson has got to get the dude's name right. He kept saying Adebayo the whole time, and it's making me so angry. He's making so much money just to like mispronounce names. Anyways, but I mean, get a mismatch up there. I mean, Bam Adebayo is good, but he can't guard Kemba an entire game. If you can get that mismatch going, then get something out of it.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, this is your safe space, man, to vent. To work it out.
I need something to cleanse my palate, and Lakers Nuggets might do that, actually, to be honest. So
yeah,
just to see something I have nothing invested in.
Yeah, those motherfuckers, they haven't even started yet.
I know.
Like 32 games into this shit.
Yeah, I'm 2 games deep into some bullshit. Plus all your Miami friends are liking all your dumb posts, and I just hate it. I just hate it all. And I like all your Miami friends, but fuck Ross and fuck George, fuck all of them. I don't care.
Yeah, it's true. We're the Heat fan base is strengthening, and we're returning to like big three levels of arrogance. Shit, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
I don't like it.
But yeah, I mean, shit, I didn't expect that any of this would even happen.
Of course, yeah.
And it's amazing. It's fucking amazing, and
you gotta enjoy it.
I didn't realize how awesome Jimmy Butler was, and I feel like he's the perfect dude. Like the man had 14 points in this game, but he had like 3 steals in the last like 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's huge. The one they tried to inbound when they were down 5, and he stole it from Jaylen Brown. Actually, when they went over the top to try and when they were down, it was like 10 seconds left. They tried to go over the top. Then Jaylen Brown tried to dunk it to like not take a lot of time off the clock. He deflected that. So yeah.
He's like, he doesn't really play selfishly, and then he gives a lot of effort, and it seems like the other dudes, like, that's fucking fun to play with the dude who's like literally like insane out there.
Sure. And has your back.
Yeah. And then it motivates them to like want to try harder and shit. I didn't realize this man had all that, and I'm just happy that the shit worked out.
Yeah, he was hateable for the longest time. Like, I just didn't like the shit he pulled on the Timberwolves. I was just kind of mad at. I was like, why you got to be a dick about it? You know, like, if you want to go to a different team, just say the team you want to go to, and get it over with. You don't have to like screw over the Timberwolves. I mean, he did the same thing in practice against them, right? He basically, what did he do? Didn't he put all the bench players on his team, and then he played against all the starters and just whooped them all up.
He beat them with the third stringers.
That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's just he's all heart and all hustle. And then I saw a quote where he said something like, listen, man, I'd rather be with my family right now, so I'm not going to leave here without a championship. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I can't hate on him for that. Yeah. Yeah. Plus Deuce is there. Like, why can't Jason Tatum say something like that?
Deuce is there, like looking up D Wade highlights on his tablet and shit.
God, I hope that's not true. How did the Heat are the best in the league at photoshopping the wrong jersey on a player, like the quickest, right? You guys found a picture of Deuce and you put a Heat shirt on him, like real quick, like, I hope Jason Tatum finds that shit and just gets fired up and puts up 40 on y'all and breaks your dumb zone. God damn.
The SPO zone.
The SPO zone.
Fucking SPO zone layer.
Man, Stevens doesn't need gimmicks like that. He'll he doesn't need your dumb gimmicks and nicknames and all that bullshit.
Gordon Hayward, he's coming back soon.
I mean, I don't want to put a bunch of shit on his shoulders, but he's coming. I mean, he's if he plays, I assume the game is Saturday. If he comes into this game, they're going to be kind of looking at him like, what you got, buddy? We've missed you a little bit. We've gotten this far, but now we're down 0-2 to the scrappy ass Heat team, and we could use what you have. So
I think he would help a lot. It's about time. This is the moment. This is it for like getting him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's set up perfectly. Like last time he was hurt, wasn't that when they did good as fuck? Wasn't that when they went all the way to the game 7? If
you talk about the first major injury where it was in the first game against Cleveland, and he lost. Yeah, that's the first year they had Kyrie and Gordon, and then so Gordon injures himself in the first game, and they ran off like 16 or 17 in a row. Yes, and so they went pretty far that year. I think that's the year. See, that was the year before they lost to Milwaukee in the second round, so they must have went to the conference finals. Yeah, so
against LeBron and shit. Right. Tatum was a rookie and all that.
Yammed it on LeBron. Yeah, so but I mean, the man's got a giant contract. If he can play, he's got to be out there, especially now. I mean, it's crunch time.
this time they're not doing as well. You know what I mean? They're doing good enough to beat at this point, but they haven't won a game yet. So it's like, I feel like the tables are turned and it's all perfectly set up for this man to go make an impact.
If he comes in and they rattle off some wins because he's in there, man, that could be, that's what his max contract was for, basically. I mean, he'll prove it. I mean, he's kind of been slept on the whole year, to be honest. And a few people here and there were like, man, his stats are good. Like, he's coming in and having an effect on the game. He's a little bit of a liability defensively. I've mentioned before. But his movement, I think, was affected a little bit by his injuries, but like his lateral movement, but he can still score the ball. He pops threes. He drives, he dunks. I mean, he's effective. You got to have him out there. So
if he comes back and they pop off a few wins, that's when Spo goes to the secret weapon. He activates Udonis Haslem. And then it's over. It's over.
Bring his old ass limping onto the court with his walker and stuff.
Oh man,
is he still like on the bench? Like, could potentially show up and play a game?
Yeah.
Get his punk ass out of there.
Be careful. Game 4, he might get some minutes.
Put him in that stupid ass zone. We'll see how he gets treated then. How old is he?
He's 40, just like his number. He's number 40 and he's 40.
And just hang it up already.
True, but I feel like where they're at and how they're doing right now is a testament to like his presence and like why the Heat keep a dude like him around, because the Heat never really like tank or anything like that.
No,
so
I appreciate that.
Part of their like special sauce is this dude being there and just fucking working hard as fuck. And like, he don't even play and he's working hard as fuck. So it's kind of hard to like be lazy when this dude who knows he's not even going to play is like outworking you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Oh yeah. That sends a message pretty quick. Yeah.
And then he has experience. So, he like the shit with Marcus Smart today is kind of like a classic Heat thing. It's Haslem would just yell at everyone if they're doing bad. Haslem.
Are you talking about the blow up in the locker room?
Yeah. Like if the Heat play bad, any time since fucking 2003, Haslem will just fucking yell at everybody and let them know like exactly what the fuck is going on.
It's a scary dude too to see yelling at you. He'd scare the shit out of me if he was yelling at me.
But yeah, he's I think it helps the Heat to have him around, and I'm glad that he's around. There's some people who wish they would use that roster spot. It's a whole ass roster spot. That could be somebody.
Could be anybody.
But I think the better they keep getting, and the more they keep playing like this, I think it shows like does it matter? It's pretty awesome that he's there. Like I think it's helping. I think he helps to keep the locker room from getting out of control. Like, there could never be someone that comes to the Heat and like fucks shit up. Like, he just wouldn't let it happen.
Do the Bucks deserve less criticism now after now the Heat have rattled off 2 wins against the Celtics?
Nah, man. I think they still I mean, the Heat deserve more praise. I guess I'll just say.
Of course, yeah. Okay.
And I think the Bucks, I think it's pretty clear at this point that besides Chris Middleton, there's not a lot going on there. Like, and Lopez, but they could put better dudes around Giannis. They wasted a bunch of money on Bledsoe, like, for no reason.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
They could put better dudes around Giannis, but I think they deserve to be criticized because they fucking lost, man. I guess that's what it is, and they gotta retool.
Yeah. Well, I will. I'm going to leave you with something that's disconcerting. Since 1947, only one or actually, I'm sorry, 0 number 5 seeds have ever made it to the finals, and you guys are currently number 5. So the odds are against the Heat to make it to the NBA finals.
That is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting one. I will raise you that the Heat are 16-0 all time when holding a 2-0 series.
That's not this Heat team, but yeah, okay, that's fair.
It's still fun though. It's still fun to say.
It's fun for me to say that the last 2 Eastern Conference winners were both down 0-2 and made a comeback. So there's that. Of course, that's the Raptors did win a championship. So yeah, there's that to mention.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of basketball.
There's a lot of bullshit statistics you can bring up to try and make yourself feel better.
I will say the last 2 of those 16 were this team, though. So
Pardon?
The last 2 wins of that 16-0 is this team against Giannis and against the fucking the dreaded TJ Warren.
Okay, so they're 16-0 when being up 2-0 in a series. Yeah. I mean, people are Heat fans are going to throw it out there, obviously, because they're up 2-0. So
it was on ESPN. I'm looking at it like Tim Legler and shit.
You got to take it one game at a time, Alex. It's the ball's in our court. They came out and hit us in the mouth. We just gotta punch them back. You
got to go to Miami now. The Heat getting those 2 road wins.
Well, this Celtics were undefeated on the road so far, technically. So yeah,
there you go. There you go. But they might turn it around on the road.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Best of luck. I feel like the Celtics are going to come out really, really. I mean, they came out fired up this game too, but they're going to come out really fired up next game.
They're going to be pretty pissed off. I feel.
Yeah. After I think Marcus Smart's going to. I heard they're not practicing tomorrow, so that's kind of interesting. So
I heard Tatum said that Deuce Tatum's not allowed to bring his iPad no more.
When. Yeah, it just takes one simple little thing that Brad Stevens has to figure out, and it could just go the whole other way. And that's what happens in series, especially in the bubble. But I mean, I'm optimistic still. It's only 2-0, but it's on that, it's still a must win. I mean, I thought this game was a must win, to be honest, but
yeah, it's a must win now. This shit is for real. Like
can't be down 3-0.
Yeah, if I'm Gordon Hayward, I'm like, I don't even care what y'all say. Like, I gotta play. Like, because I think he could have played today.
You think so?
Yeah, because they upgraded him to doubtful.
Yeah.
And he was out there running around and shit before the game.
I'll take him, man. I mean, it's much needed bench scoring, if nothing else. You're not going to. I don't think you'd want to start him. I think you'll still start Marcus Smart in his place. But if you can have him in there, if you can spell the other guys and have Gordon Hayward in there still scoring for you while your bench is in, you know what I mean? If you got Wanamaker, Cantor, Hayward, Semi, even, I don't know, and have Hayward in there as your scoring option. I mean, it's effective.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they need that one more dude, especially when you look at because when you look at some of the guys they have coming in who aren't the 2 J's and fucking Kemba, they're all real specialist dudes, and Hayward is a guy who can do all kind of shit.
He can, yeah. He's still got ups. He's there for rebounds. He can. I mean, he basically. I mean, if he played more minutes, he's a triple double threat any game, really. So,
yeah, one thing I feel I've learned from Spo is the value of just a dude who can dribble, having another dude
who can handle the ball.
Who can handle the ball?
Yeah,
is invaluable, because if you have 1 through 5 players who can handle the ball for real, where if someone comes and tries to
place them anywhere on the court.
Yeah, then and then thinking about crunch time, that shit is super duper important. Like, because if the game's on the line and like, you know, fucking Cancer gets the ball at like half court or something, you know, is he going to be able to do something with the ball? Like,
no, you got to pull Kemba or Jason Tatum to come up and get it from that's
yeah. Or like if Myers Leonard has the ball in that scenario, it's like scary. So that's why dudes like Bam, I feel that's like something he brings to the game that's super underrated. It's just like being competent with dribbling the ball, like just a little bit, enough to where he's not a liability in that way.
Even the very last play, he's the one that dribbled out the clock, and I saw him like doing it, and I was like, damn, he can dribble the ball. Like, you can bring the ball up the court if he really wanted him to.
Yeah, he does it every game. Like he'll get the rebound and then just go. And and then he can start a whole play just like super fast, because he's the fucking guy who got the rebound. So like he already has the ball.
Whereas other teams, like, you know, I mean, Celtics, if Tice comes down with a rebound, it's good, but he has to find an outlet quick. You're not going to have him dribble the ball at all.
Yeah, Spo is big on that, and like Bam, like is perfect for that type of shit. But yeah, that's why that's a long-winded way of saying that's why I think having Hayward will help, even in that basic way, just to take ball handling pressure off of some of these other dudes.
Kemba, Wanamaker, anybody, yeah. And he's one of those guys. Like he's you like to see him in open space, like. Get Hayward and Brown in like open space and just let them go. When they catch a rebound, they just run. And I mean, I mentioned this last game, like Brown, like you just like, you know, catch the rebound and just go right at the other team. He's much better at finishing at the rim this year than he has been in previous years. So, by the way, still only 23. And so, so it's just, I really, really, really hope Hayward plays next game.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
That's where we're at in the basketball world.
It's a weird place. 2020 is just a fucking roller coaster.
True. Elephant balls.
Man, you can't y'all just can't have some like clean nicknames like Time Lord or something. Like, what the fuck, man?
But yeah, I mean, I gotta say I'm super excited.
Me too.
Heater up 2-0. I'm sorry it's gotta be against y'all. You know what I'm saying? But it's not over. So
it's not over. And it hurts extra though, I gotta say. It hurts a little bit extra.
True.
Yeah.
And we will be right here again after game 3.
Saturday, I assume, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming Saturday. I'm not even gonna look. I'm too high off the happiness of this victory.
I'm pretty sure it's Saturday because I know they said game 4 was supposed to be Monday, but the NFL basically bullied the NBA into not playing that game that day. So yeah, for Monday Night Football.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Well, we'll be talking after game 3.
We'll be talking. We'll be talking.
Catch you later, man.
Catch you, sir.